I wanted to show you some Skipper Loom fiber art projects because the Skipper Looms are a lot of fun and they're highly creative. A lot of my projects focus on felting, but not all of them do. So, and that's important that the Skipper Looms offer variety. For example, this is a little pillow used with the 6x6 Skipper Pin Loom and the 4x4 Skipper Pin Loom. And I have stuffed it with sheep wool and then lavender. This is a 4x4 Skipper Pin Loom. 3 corners were brought up and connected, and then there's the back corner. And then I needle felted a little Lincoln Longwool sheep figure in there. This would be an example where the Skipper Pin Loom is not exactly the focus. It's a carrier for the project. This little lavender sachet pillow would be the focus for the project. Skipper Pin Looms are really fun for doing mug rugs. Needle felting and Skipper Pin Looms go together really well. You can needle felt all kinds of interesting things on the felted square, or as with this one, I don't think I will needle felt a figure on it. I like the texture of the yarn and I like the color variations. The bowls are fun to do. These 2 bowls, worsted weight, wool yarn, 6x6. These bowls, 4x4. And they're 5 squares. You connect them, pull them up, and then I felt those by hand at the kitchen sink. Not everything I do is felted. This table centerpiece is all from one ball of yarn. It's sock weight yarn. It won't felt, it's super wash, but it's all from the 4x4 from the same ball of yarn, and it's what I call a running row table runner. This is the 4x8, and I gently felted it at the kitchen sink because I wanted to control the felting and keep that grid pattern to do the counted cross stitch squares. And that's a windowsill chill catcher. This my husband did, the 2x8, the 4x4, then he dyed the 2x8 squares, and the scarf was gently felted, so there's still pliability for a scarf, a Hudson Bay themed scarf. This is a table centerpiece, worsted wool, variegated. I don't know why, but yarn that is self-striping when knit will weave up on the Skipper Looms as a plaid pattern. And this is 4 squares that were connected, and I gently felted them for pliability for table centerpiece. But this is a purse, and this has been max felted because obviously for a purse you want durability and strength. The butterfly needle felted, 8x8, 4 8x8s, 4x8s, 2x2, the 2x8s 4 handle straps connected, and on the back 4x4. So the Skipper Looms can be used individually, like a mug rug, or like the little sheep figure, or they can be combined to build projects. I could have an option, instead of a purse, I could have done a pillow, but I wanted to do the purse. This is another scarf, merino wool, gently felted after connecting the squares. Then I've taken leftover tails, Skipper Pin Loom tails, twisted them together, and crimped them at the kitchen sink for the fringe. This project started out with, I did it before I was more aware of different types of fibers, wool fibers. Different fibers will do different things for you. And this is worsted wool. The yellow is a coarse weaving fiber yarn that I bought years ago. And I thought, well, I'll connect them and they'll felt up and I'll make a pillow. Well, they felted, but not evenly. And I was disappointed at first. But then I got to looking at it and I thought, well, the yellow still has maintained its grid, so I will do a counted cross stitch figure on them. And I think it's really neat. That points out an important part of fiber art. We're talking about the Skipper pin looms, but whatever you're doing in the fiber art world, something that seems to be a mistake, put it aside. Think about it, and you may very well end up with the best project you ever did. Mistakes happen, but mistakes can be rethought to be really great successes. This, as an example, my husband did this 2x8, and he hand dyed the colors, and then 4x4. It was huge when he got done with it. He wanted it to be a Hudson Bay themed jacket. So it got felted in the washing machine, and it was over felted, and it's really, really thick. It's a saddle blanket. We put it on a horse. The people said yes, it would be just great for putting a saddle on it, but they did think it was better for a pony. But again, something that seemed to be a mistake could be turned right around and become a success. This is a rug. The 4x4 squares felted a rug. And then here again, I took some of my leftover squares, put them together for a little table centerpiece, non-felted. So again, things can be felted or non-felted, and the Skipper pin looms offer that choice. Here is a scarf. It's merino wool that's hand spun, hand dyed. It's off the 6x6 loom. And I don't know how it wove up like that, but every square is from the same ball of yarn. And I had, fortunately, just enough wool yarn on that ball to make the scarf. But that is non-felted. And then the 2x2 square rope necklace or scarf necklace, non-felted again, and the corners were connected to make that rope scarf. So it's not so much a question of what do you want to make with the Skipper pin looms, what can you make? The sky is really the limit. So have fun with your Skipper pin looms. Thank you. Thanks for joining us today. We've had a lot of fun showing new Skipper pin loom ideas. Remember to check out our website, www.bluebutterflyoriginals.com, for availability and pricing and tutorial ideas about the Skipper pin looms. We've just had a lot of fun. With one little pin loom, you get 5 craft options with weaving, felting, needle felting, kind of cross stitch embroidery, and rug hooking. So remember, with Skipper pin looms, the sky is the limit.